A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Interesting things happening tonight. Will today be Napoli's day in terms of winning the Serie A title? We will know that in a few minutes from now. And of course, in the English Premier League, Manchester United also in action. We'll be talking about all of that, all for you on the show tonight. We will also do our best to look at things happening on the domestic scene. As usual, I'm not alone on the show. My colleague, Austin Okocha, is with me as we take this trip in the money spinning world of sports. Greetings to you, Austin. It's good to be here again.
What a great things to you, Yemi, and shout out to everyone watching us on the show tonight from different parts of the world. Still an action-packed world of sports. What a story right here in England. It's all about
Okay, trying to sort out a few things. We'll get back to Austin, and of course, we'll talk about the things going on. Of course, he was about to fill us in with what is currently going on in England, talking about the English Premier League and some of the news making the rounds. Well, while we sort that out here in the domestic scene, we have something happening, talking about football legends coming together and doing something. We're talking about, of course, the Penalty Cup, which will be held in Lagos. And, of course, it is spearheaded by Super Eagles, former Super Eagles captain Austin J.J. Okocha. 8 nations, including Nigeria, will be involved. And, of course, it's all about bringing the legends back and, of course, allowing them to enjoy the game of football, especially designed for the continent's ex-internationals to showcase incredible skills, talents via penalty kicks. It will be good to see which one of those guys still has it after all these years playing the round letter game. JJ Okocha will lead other ex-internationals like Daniel Amokachi, Finidi George in the shootout against other African greats. Like I said, 7 other countries plus Nigeria, making 8, will be involved. And those countries are Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, South Africa, Senegal, Mali, and Morocco. They will all compete in the inaugural African Heroes Penalty Cup at the Mobolaji Johnson Stadium, Onikan, in Lagos. And it will be in December this year. And what you have on your screen is the presser to herald that tournament. Let's allow you listen to some of the key stakeholders, say a few things. We'll come back for more Sports Tonight.
For me, when you talk about fair play in football, it's only penalty that is fair. You can, if you can't score your penalty, nobody can turn it around, you know. So we thought about why not penalty, and penalty is something that some of us can comfortably still take without much stress. Even though from some of the lists that we made, I got carried away to put some of my friends, forgetting that their knees are no longer what it used to be. So I would say that 80% of the players have committed themselves. But it's a way of us trying to also celebrate our own legends, celebrate our heroes around the world, celebrate those that have impacted so much in football. They've created things that I think this generation are enjoying now, you know, because I remember when I started playing, especially in the national team, we didn't even have sponsor. You have to come with your own personal jersey to train. They give you 2 boots. No matter how the weather is, you must use this boots unless you buy your own.
We are not bringing out retired but not tired goalkeepers. We are bringing in active goalkeepers. So each country will come with 1 active goalkeeper in your local league. That means JJ, Finidi George, and they will have to sit down and say which goalkeeper is good in penalty in Nigerian league. That creates so much attention for the Nigerian league. When 20 or 40 player goalkeepers know that they are watching them for something, this guy will go extra mile to become better. And you can see the value he was talking about, not just to the legends, but even to the upcoming generation, to know that if I can be selected, and they will be treated equally like kings.
All right, it's going to be interesting when that eventually plays out, where the guys do represent Nigeria. It's interesting to see probably players like Elash Geoff, Seydou Keita maybe, the guys from South Africa, some of their ex-players, maybe Dr. Kumalo, who knows, Helman Makalele, some of those guys that we've seen play on the African continent, represent their clubs, and do so well. It'll be interesting to see how much they still have it, you know, maybe the Uche Okechukwu of this world, to see some of those players, whether they're in shape. Of course, we see JJ Okocha a lot of the times, and it looks like he's in shape. But what about the others? It's going to be very interesting. And of course, this is a move that has been welcomed by a lot of people. And of course, FIFA also is thinking along this line to keep these guys busy, to keep the ex-internationals busy. And FIFA has been doing quite a number of things along these lines. And this one coming from this part of the world is very interesting. We can't wait for December when we'll see them grace the field and play these games. And of course, we'll be happy to see them once again on the field, do what made them popular, and whether or not they still have what it takes to score penalty kicks, whether or not they're still in shape, whether or not they still remember what it takes to do what they used to do. It's going to be interesting times when these things happen, and it's going to happen in December. All right, so that's it. Interesting times ahead, like I said. Tonight on the show, we will also talk about the CAF U-17 AFCON. Of course, the Golden Eaglets got a bitter taste yesterday when they lost to Morocco. We'll talk about that as we move on the show. It's going to be interesting to see how the lads can bounce back from that loss to Morocco. And that's it on your screen. The lads did all the playing, but of course, they didn't get to score. And Morocco, courtesy of an own goal by the Nigerian lads, one of the lads, of course, was named man of the match. He wasn't pleased, even though he won the man of the match. He would have loved his team to win the encounter, but it so turns out that they lost. And of course, I'm talking about the young man who is winning the man of the match for the second consecutive time. You're looking at these pictures. Of course, we had chances. We'll talk more about all of this as we move on the show to let you see what can be done by Onduka Ogbade and his team. The young man I was referring to is Yahaya Lawal, who says he's heartbroken, even though he's winning the man of the match for the second time. All right, it does appear that Austin is back with us. Let's see if we can get along with the conversation. Austin, all right, it's good to have you back. You were about to set the pace for the discussion that we're going to have.
Technology, but good to be back on the show. Sporting greetings to everyone, joining us from different parts of the world. What a story. You were talking about the Golden Eaglets. Remember, we talked about this right after their first match against Zambia and then against Morocco. They were quite unfortunate, but I like the fact that this has happened and they will learn from it and hope to, get better in the competition. But we'll get back to that one. We've always wanted to celebrate athletes, particularly those who are doing so well for the country, because this is sports tonight. It's not just football, and athletics is one aspect where Nigeria does so well. But at the Commonwealth Games, it wasn't just on the tracks that we did well, we also did well on the field. Remember, we did a record-breaking performance in Birmingham, and one of the events that gave Nigeria gold was discus. Chioma Onyekwere didn't just win gold. At that time, she threw an African record. Chioma told me at the Commonwealth Games that she's not stopping. She says she will keep that performance going. Just about 2 weeks ago, at the Oklahoma Throw Series in Ramona, Oklahoma, She threw 69.64.96 meters to smash her own African record. Let's go to the United States of America. Chioma Onyekwere joins us live on the program. Good evening, champ. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Oh, sorry. Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to have you on the show. What's going on?
Not much. Getting ready to prepare for a competition coming up this weekend.
Awesome. You told me at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, after winning gold, you said you're not stopping. And you didn't stop. Congratulations on your performance in Oklahoma. Tell us, how did you record that record-breaking performance?
Yeah, so I knew that this season I was coming in really focused, especially being just 1 year away from the Olympics. I really wanted to get after like all my goals and make sure that I qualified early and able to set a good spot for me early on in the competitions to get into these higher level elite meets. So breaking the area record, breaking the African record for discus has been one of my long time goals that I've had for my career. I'm excited that I could break it so early in my career and also early in this season. So I'm hoping to produce and increase my mark more and more as the season progresses, especially in Worlds Championships this year, which is going to be in Budapest in August.
I know breaking a record is a lot of work for you athletes, particularly when you're breaking your own record. Were you under any form of pressure in Oklahoma?
I wasn't under a lot of pressure. I just knew that my practices were going really well. I was progressing quite a bit in my distances from the previous year. I could throw easy 60-meter throws in practice. So I knew that I'd be close to throwing a very big throw, if anything close to like my 63-meter PR. So practicing going really well. I'm still in tip-top shape. I've been lifting more. My bench has increased. My squats have increased. My cleans and snatches have increased in weight. I've hit those maxes. So I knew that when it came time to train, I would be able to progress even more. So I was just so ecstatic and so shocked when I hit the 64.96 because that was about a meter and 1.66 meters increase from my previous personal best. So I was just super ecstatic to keep progressing so early.
That's right, because at the Commonwealth Games, you threw 61.90. And when I saw you hitting the 64 meters mark, I said, she means business. My colleague here is in Lagos, so he will be speaking to you, and then we'll continue the conversation.
Okay.
All right, Champ, it's nice having you join us, Yemi in Lagos. Two quick ones before I let you get back to Austin. I know you do shot put and discus, but these days it's discus that you've been doing a lot. So I'm interested in asking, do you have any favorite? Which one do you like most among the two? And let me allow you to answer that first. Which one do you like most?
Yeah, so I'll say between discus and shot put, I did discus and shot put together in high school and college. I did shot put in 2016 when I started my career as a professional athlete back in South Africa at the African Senior Championships. And then I did shot put for one more year in 2017. And then since then, it's just been only discus. I've been doing discus since 2018 throughout, and it's worked out well. So focusing on just that one event has helped me progress. Shortly after just focusing on just discus, I was able to win my first African Senior Championships in discus. And then following that, I was able to qualify for World Athletic Championships the year after in 2019. And then obviously we didn't have competition 2021, but was also able to qualify for the Olympics 2021 and obviously win Commonwealth Gold 2022 last year.
Let me throw this one in. As my colleague would have told you, we like inspiring the young ones. And when we see people like you doing well, blazing the trail in your sport, a few things come to mind. What do you think is required for a young person listening to you who wants to do discus, shot put, and some of those related events? What do you think is needed? Because there are a lot of information out there that when the real sports people come, they correct some of the wrong notions we have. Like, for instance, I would have said, probably you have to be plus size. Is that really true? To do discus or shot put, you have to be plus size. Is it really true?
I wouldn't say that's true. You see a lot of women from different various sizes There's Val Allman, who's very petite in her size in comparison. And then you have athletes like Lagi, and she's much bigger, I guess more plus size in her throws. So you don't really need to be a specific size. You have to do what's best for you. If you look at Maggie Ewan or Fanny Roos from the Netherlands for shot put, they're very small in size, but they're still able to throw far. Chase Ely from the US, she was able to throw 20 meters, and she's more of a plus size for the US for shot put. So you don't have to be a specific size. What you do need to have is the strength, and you need to have the technique. Those are the two major things. You have the strength and technique, and then you have to be able to willing to learn as you go in the sport, and you have to have tough mental strength, because when the competition comes up and someone beats your mark, you want to be able to progress even farther than them. So you have to just have mental toughness, strength, and do what works for you. I personally, for me, I'm more of a speed thrower, so my physique works well for me to use my strength and my speed to get the farthest throw possible. Someone else might be very technical focused and may not have as much speed and might just have really good technique, and that's why they get their distance. So it really just works based on what works for you. Each thrower throws differently. No one really throws the same. There might be some similar aspects, but everyone throws differently. So there's no one certain size for each event.
All right, let me just allow my colleague take it from here. I have some other questions, but for now, at least let me allow my colleague take it from here.
Chioma, you talked about mental toughness, and these days, when we talk about these days, mental health is a thing in sports. You know, God bless us soul. We're monitoring boy. How important is mental health to, you know, sporting personalities just like you?
Yeah, I'd say mental health is really important because when you come into the sport, you're obviously, people are going to be paying attention to your stats. People are going to be paying attention to the competition. It might be a fan favorite for some people. You might have someone else who is not a fan favorite for you and may not want you to win versus one of their favorite athletes. So especially when you're in the front of the media quite a bit, people tend to get to know a lot more about you when you're doing a bunch of interviews. So I'd say kind of being able to protect yourself mentally, as well as being able to still be laser focused in the competition status. So it's like good to be conversational, good to be enjoy what you do, but also still being able to be mentally tough and knowing how to understand how to progress forward. Because sometimes you have competition where you don't throw as far as you want or compete the way you want. You have to be able to take that in, process it, and then go back in the competition and do it again. And for some athletes, it may be very tough when you're having continuous competitions where you're not progressing the way you want. So you have to just really take time for yourself, go back to the drawing board, take time for yourself, figure out what's wrong, what you need to do, what works for you, and make sure you're protecting your mental health while still being able to mentally push forward, because it is a tough sport where you have to be really tough and believe that you're the best to get out there and compete to the most high elite level.
I totally agree. You're getting ready for Brazil. If you throw 64 in Oklahoma, will you give us more than that in Brazil?
We will see. I've been looking really good at practice. My practice throws have been really going well. Been doing a little different technical changes with my reverse so I can push out a little bit more for my throw. So I'd be ecstatic if I could throw more. I could be excited if I could increase that record even further than what it already is. It'd be nice to hit 65. 64.96. I'm so close to 65 meters. So I would love to throw even farther and extend that record even further, because the previous record holder for the area record was, I can't remember the athlete's name, but it was a South African athlete. I would like to kind of hold that status and put it as far as top for Nigeria as possible. No one else can get it, so I can have it for 20, 30 years. That would be nice. That would be a great accomplishment for me. And a great accomplishment for Nigeria in general. So I really want to hit 65 meters. I'm so close. 0.04 is not that far away. So if not in Brazil, I will definitely be pushing for that and the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
You know what? Just wishing you all the best as you compete in Brazil. Thank you so much, Chioma Onyekwere. Always a delight to speak with you. Best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's it. African discus record holder, Nigeria's Chioma Onyekwere, speaking to us from our base in Washington, D.C. Let's go on this quick break now. When we come back, there's still so much more to talk about, so don't go anywhere.
All Welcome back. Of course, we've been on the matter. We've been talking short with Nigeria's finest, Chioma Onyekwere. Of course, talking to us about our exploits, and of course, we've been able to do that. So we're moving on now. We're going to be talking about what's going on right there in Algeria, the CAF U-17 Championship, and of course, it wasn't a good day for Nigeria yesterday. Let's quickly show you some of the results that I'll bring. Of course, our guest who's ready to join us. But of course, wanting to see the results, then of course we go straight into that as we move on. And of course, this is what some of us were not quite happy with yesterday, but it has happened. There's nothing we can do about it. Wednesday's results: Nigeria losing to Morocco. Of course, Nigeria created scoring chances, couldn't take them. Morocco scored by an own goal. South Africa defeated Zambia 3-2. Okay, let's also see if we can quickly show the standings and get it out of the way quickly. All right, that's it on the screen. Morocco leads after 2 games, and of course 6 points. They've won their 2 matches, and Nigeria follows, winning 1, losing 1. But of course, because of a better goals difference, they're on top, and a lot of people are already saying maybe a draw might just be enough for the Golden Eaglets, followed by South Africa and Zambia. Nigeria plays South Africa next, so we'll see what happens in that one. Hopefully, we'll be able to get it right. All right, of course, Austin is still right here with me. So, Austin, your thoughts? I've looked at the clips over and over, and really can't blame the guys. Had their chances, just didn't go their way.
They were so unfortunate. That own goal that came off, Tochukwu's head, quite unfortunate. Sent goalkeeper the wrong way, and then Morocco, just did all they could to, hold on to that lead. The Golden Eaglets got their chances. Same thing I said, Yemi, in that first match against Zambia, that they need to get the understanding that they need, to beat opponents, to see that they were trying to, connect those passes properly. But in the final third, they were not converting the chances. And that's a big problem, particularly when you're trailing. If you get opportunities, you take them. They are still young. I still believe in this team. I know Coach Undu can turn it around. But now it's tricky on that table because South Africa will come with everything that they have now against Nigeria. So they need to show character. They need to show that they can pick themselves back up. I think they need to be more adventurous. I think they still need to also believe in themselves. They are young, you can tell in the way they play, but they should execute those things that have been said to them by their coach. Particularly when you go down, you get back up.
All right. Let's hope they'll be able to get it right. Okay, that's the man I wanted to talk to. Bolu Money joins us now. Greetings to you, Bolu. Thanks for finding out time to be with us. Feels a bit strange. I'm used to having you sitting next to me in the studio. But anyways, thanks for finding out time to be with us.
Yeah, good to be again on this episode. Even though it feels like you're running here for me for a while, we're away. Now that you're back, I'm here, which I'm good to be here on the day. Well, not so good for the Golden Eaglets, but at least, like Austin said, there's definitely still hope for this one.
All right, so a quick one before I yield the floor to Austin. I mean, what can be done? A lot of people already say they need probably just a draw, but you don't go into a game playing for a draw.
I think I agree with you. A draw is enough, yes, mathematically to take them through. Even a draw should take both teams through. Nigeria qualify as the second, and South Africa should go through as the third best placed team. But you don't get into a game with the mindset of let me get a draw. Go for the win. Whatever happens at the end could be acceptable. You get in there to win. And like most people that have seen these boys have said, the most important thing for them is scoring. Their final balls have been the problem. Possession is not a problem. They play well against Zambia. They played well against Morocco as well. But their final balls have been the major challenge. They try to shoot from anywhere. It doesn't work. They try to pass. It doesn't work. So I'm not scared about how they will play. I know against South Africa, they will still dominate like they did in the first 2. But the challenge is, can they score? We've seen South Africa that these boys can score from left, right, center against Zambia. At the same time, we know how poor they can be defensively for Zambia to get back on 2 goals down. That's what we need to take advantage. I saw the game against Morocco, and I'm like, if you do watch this game, you think these boys are useless. You think these boys can't play. They lost it by a goal and everything. But if you saw the game, you will know these boys can play football. Just find a way to make sure the focus in training for me should be on finishing. Shoot well, score well. Accuracy is the main challenge. If they can fix that right, my little worry is if these boys don't go far, if they don't qualify for the World Cup, we tend to forget everything. Every other team that fails to do well, qualify for World Cup and do well, tend to be forgotten. So I wish these boys can do everything they can to progress and do as much as they can to qualify for the World Cup. Then we'll take it over from there.
Yeah, I wish that for them as well. But it's time to switch gears now and talk about the English Premier League. That's what everybody wants to talk about. And talk about the battle at the top of the table. And, of course, the remaining fixtures. Let's quickly look through all of that. And, of course, look at what you have now that we can call the top three. Manchester City on top, followed by Arsenal and Newcastle. That's what you have on top. Mathematically, it looks like Arsenal, whatever happens, will probably finish in that second place. But the battle is still on between the Gunners and Manchester City. And, of course, it will be interesting to see what happens. So let's quickly see the next 4 fixtures for Arsenal. And the dates, you have it on your screen. Newcastle and Arsenal, that will be on May 7th. Arsenal will take on Brighton May 14th. Of course, still 2 other matches left for the Gunners before the season ends. They'll be up against Nottingham Forest. That will be away. And they will be up against Wolverhampton Wanderers. That will be on the last day. All right, let's quickly flip this and look at the remaining matches for Manchester City. There you go. Manchester City up against Leeds on May 6th. They'll be up against the Toffees. That's Everton. May 14th, they'll be fighting for their lives. Manchester City will be up against Chelsea. Maybe Chelsea will want to prove a point. We'll see. That will be on May 21. Brighton have been doing so well against the big teams. They'll be up against Manchester City, and Brentford will be up against Manchester City on the final day. Those are the fixtures. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. All right, let me go to the man who is at the center of everything currently going on in England. And Austin, well, I want to say, I'm tempted to ask, what is the mood like? Okay, let's just quickly see if we can move on that and look at some of the things currently going on. I'm going to show you that in a bit. Some of the next fixtures. We've seen Arsenal, we've seen Manchester City, and you've seen what it looks like at the top. And shortly, I'll get the guys to talk about what they feel is going to happen in the next few games. Let's see if we can get Bolu into the mix and quickly get his thoughts on what he thinks will happen in the next few games. Quickly, because we're pressed for time, a lot of people are saying it's over, but mathematically, something is still there.
Well, yeah, I think the producer doesn't like Man United, or removing Man United to make it top 3 instead of top 4. But the truth is that even while Arsenal were leading Man City with 5 points, I said to myself that Arsenal's best chance of winning the Premier League is have a healthy lead before they play Man City. Because needing City to win to go above them means it was almost done and dusted. And look at the run for Arsenal. They go to St. James's Park to play a very, very difficult Newcastle, who don't concede much. In fact, they have the best defensive record in the Premier League. After that, they go to a very impressive Brighton. Yes, at home, Brighton right now are threatening Man United currently. So Arsenal have probably suffered fixtures. But Man City, relegation battles. But we know City, one thing they've learned to do is they can win anyhow. When they are on this run, they don't care how much they win. 1-0 is 3 points for them. So mathematically, yes, Arsenal can still win. But I think sensically, the Premier League should be done and dusted. City look to have one hand on the Premier League. Man for man, I think they will still beat Man United in the FA Cup. For the Champions League now, that's where their top task is in chasing trouble. Real Madrid for me look to be their biggest task. They look very, very possible. They look in a good place to win the treble. But before talking about the treble, let's see how far they can go with the Premier League. And for me, I think City will pick up the Premier League title to make it 3 on the bounce this season. Okay,
we'll wait and see. And Austin, I was about to get your thoughts. And of course, I'm very sure you let us in on the thoughts of Pep Guardiola when you're done with your thoughts. But what's the mood like? It looks like Bolu said it, a lot of people are saying it, City have both hands, not just one now, seems both hands wrapped around the title.
The Arsenal fans will say no, I was in Manchester, and then the mood, the buzz for that game between Manchester City and West Ham will tell you that the fans actually want to win it 3 times in a row. But if you speak to Arsenal fans, they will tell you this is a fight till the end, and that's why Arsenal will take the leadership and then Man City will say, give it back to us. But what a story Pep Guardiola and this Manchester City team, they are telling. 51 goals in a season for Erling Haaland. Incredible, phenomenal player, all day, every day. That sort of performance is good enough to give you the title. Also remember that there was a time Arsenal was leading this chase with about 8 or 11 points. And now City took over and they're bossing it. And with the quality in this team, the depth that Pep Guardiola has got, shows we're going to have a very interesting title challenge. Now, the 2 of them will go through Brighton. Brighton, I know, will beat one of this team. I don't know if it's Arsenal or Man City, but I know Brighton will beat one of those 2 teams. Now, Manchester City will go to Everton. Everton is a team you don't want to play now. They're desperate. They want all the points that they can get. And then the game against Chelsea is also tricky. Pep Guardiola is someone I love listening to, particularly when he's talking about title challenge. So let's listen to Pep Guardiola, and I'll come back to talk some more.
I said after Arsenal, when everybody said it's over, and I said it's not over, and after my press conference, and yesterday Arsenal proved it, they will not give up, because I would say quite well, Mikel, and how competitor he is. Few players I know, Arsenal is one of the historical teams, and they will be there. So we said to the players, so every game will be quite similar like Fulham, it was, but we were quite stable and part of the moment, and at the end we create enough chances to win the game. So now we have an opportunity on Saturday to go 4 points in front before they play on Sunday in Newcastle, and after Champions League, we'll see what happened in Goodison Park, and game by game.
You mentioned
All right, Pep Guardiola, of course, speaking his mind right there, talking about the title challenge. Austin talked about Erling Haaland. It would be very unfair if we don't hear some comments about Erling Haaland and what he has achieved. And a lot of discussion already going on as to whether or not somebody else will be able to do what Erling Haaland has done. So let's quickly listen to same man, Pep Guardiola, speak about the achievements of Erling Haaland.
I think he deserves it. All the team deserve it, because without the team he could not do it, but he's a special striker. And so, we are very pleased for him, because he's a joy to not just to work with him or be a manager. I think everyone is happy to have him with us, and of course this record will be broken sooner or later, maybe for him in the future, or maybe another one, but he had to score a lot of goals, because he scored a lot. I think in football, when there is a special occasion, we have to show how special it is. Today was with Erling, another day will happen, but of course to score and overcome the position of Andy Cole and Alan Shearer, the incredible top strikers. So it's special.
All right, we all agree that, of course, the young man is very special, very special. All right, we have a few minutes left, but we have to talk about 1 or 2 things. Let me go to Bolu Omoni. We're still looking at this table, very interesting table. But Bolu, let me take a quick one from you. Take a stab at it, a few seconds. If you take Erling Haaland from Manchester City's equation, would they still be this dominant? Oh,
scoring lots of goals, and that's a big advantage now. If you mark out Haaland, there are many guys that can score. If you free Haaland, Haaland will get lots of goals. We can see him with 35 goals in the Premier League. So it makes everything unique for Man City. Take out, when people tell you it scores more problem, I tell them take out 35 goals from Man City. You will know where they will be. So it's more like a match made in heaven. And we can see the result right now. And the Premier League, they are likely to win Premier League, FA Cup final, and maybe the Champions. So it's a relationship many have been waiting for.
Okay.
We can see the fruits right now.
Bolu, let me butt in quickly and tell our viewers who probably are thinking that Napoli will celebrate tonight. It just so happens that the party has been delayed again. We're going to give you a confirmation of the result. It has ended 1-1 against Udinese. That's what happened. Austin Okocha is already laughing.
I know.
And they've won the title on that. I thought the battle was going to be delayed. They needed a win straight away. And we were talking about it, I think, on Tuesday, that even with that gap, it was a matter of if. I mean, it was a matter of when, not if. But I was thinking they needed a win, but a draw probably was enough for them.
Just right enough, for Napoli. And, with what they're going through, I can understand the rush of blood to the brain. So they can't even win anymore right after that win against Juve. But I think this 1-1 draw against Udinese does it for Victor Osimhen and his team. What a story that they've told. And the people of Naples will never, ever forget these guys that have given the Scudetto to them since 1993, I guess, that they won it last. They've started a party, I think 2 weeks ago, right after that win against Juve. And we said it as just a matter of time. And now with this 1-1 draw against Udinese, good enough for them to, wrap it up. So their next home match, they wrap it up with a win. And then the celebration we get on proper, Yemi.
All right. Bolu throwing with a few seconds is done. The wait is over.
Napoli like Lagos. And that's what we can see now. Like once the celebration has been on, they even did a coffee, put all their rivals on it. It's been over 30 years since they won it last, so they can celebrate anyhow they want. They deserve it. Both Osimhen, talking about Kvaratskhelia, Lobotka, all their players gave everything they needed to do. And it was a matter of when, not if. Congratulations to Napoli, obviously, congratulations to Osimhen. Hopefully this will give him a better chance to becoming the first Nigerian in a while to win African Best Player. But whether he wins it or not, he has done so well this season. All
right, so that's it. I guess that's the much we can take on the show tonight. But first, let me just quickly go to Austin for a Spartan shot as we go tonight. Austin, we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go. I'm closely monitoring that game between Brighton and Manchester United in the English Premier League. It's still goalless, 80 minutes already gone. Hopefully, something will come out of that before 90th minute. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okocha, and in everything you do, remember, I'm talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, that's the show. Unfortunately, we won't be able to allow Bolu to say a few words, but that's the show. We'll be back here again tomorrow. We'll take you on a trip across the money spinning world of sports. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.